when it's your time in the slab, what will you leave behind for your loved ones?
I gotta go.
On our line of work, you would think that question would come up more often. But no one wants to think today's the day they'll die.
Etos, Fara ad Falika, or Fara fra Fara, Hikes obo Firsk, Dame Bell we bara, Farin ad in Bahala. How do I do?
You learn my language, this gesture. It's it for me.
This old dog can learn new tricks.
Then I shall repay in kind. A toast to thee, to more butt smacks. Mate.
Mate, did you just give a toast to Spud Smacks?
Your ears betray you. I said no such.
Butt Smacks, bloody hell, bloodhound. You're a gem.
You spoke in my tongue. I simply returned the gesture. Your volume is beastly. I do not jest about
Butt Smacks.
Why talk about death when you could be living life?
Rafe, not that I'm being nosy or anything, but where are you going? Side gig. Your mom seems better. Please don't. I mean, yeah, it does come and go. I mean, earlier she claimed that, you know what? I put too much on you. I can handle it. Probably not.
Folks steer into the positive. Avoid the negative.
So this new gig, I can't handle it. Let me guess, waitress? No, party clown. You're standing outside a used Trident dealership with a giant arrow. Good night, Elliot. It's Arrow Girl, isn't it? I knew it.
Can you blame them? But the negative has a way of bleeding through.
Hey, I'm so embarrassed, but the 50 I gave you, do not tell my son I was here. Could I get them back? You remember me, right? My name's Wit. Richard Wit.
Eventually, all the chickens come home roosting.
You saved my life, Dr. Summers. I just a physician who knows how to be bossy. Your dad and Mr. Gibraltar, they saved your life.
Some are less forgiving than others.
Thank you, Koa. You kept me sane. That rocket took off ages ago, brother. I'm serious. Michael owes his life to you. Not sure he sees it that way.
They don't want your legacy.
Not sure he ever will.
They rather destroy it.
You sure you want to do this? I should be the one asking you that. Told ya we running together. The last one to the top disowns their parents.
The end is when you learn who really had your back.
Who put that Silva logo on the Icarus? Don't know. It wasn't there yesterday. Did you check the security footage? The cameras were vandalized overnight. Again?
And who was just aiming for it?
It's a conspiracy to distract you from the museum hostage crisis, the Sabonian gunship, and the legacy antigen. All syndicate failures. This is the world I want to leave my son, where I'm punished for mass producing the cure. Your leadership thinks its citizens need a scapegoat, but it's clear to me what its citizens really need. A new leadership.
The end is when the puzzle pieces fall into place. But when it's not the picture on the box,
where are we sending them?
A black hole I knew. Except the Icarus, it's too entangled. A loose thread at a quill. Put the Icarus out, the whole city falls apart. Anyways, what you need, Ash?
I know what she will say. Lilium, she'll thank you for saving her city and remind you no matter how lonely it gets, you're never alone.
Was the wrong picture on the box, or did you put the wrong pieces in the wrong place?
Wait, come back, Ash. What just happened?
And maybe the end isn't the end after all.
Need more than just his jacket to remember anything from that night. Do you? Really? You're mocking me again? I'm not making fun of you, Blaisley. I'm jealous. I'd love to forget Jackson's face as he took his last breath, or when he realized I couldn't save him. Amnesia sounds like a vacation. What's the point of loving someone if all you remember is watching her die? Her? You just said watching her die.
Maybe that's what you told yourself to spare the pain.
We're not talking about Jackson anymore, are we?
Maybe the real story is just beginning. Some try to rewrite history in the end, but they never can. If you're lucky, however, miracles happen. and the wrong is righted.
I have a feeling he's going to be a whole new Caustique. He's still a killer, Natalie. Maybe he can change. Not unless you know something I don't.
Even if the miracle was born from a lie. But legacies mean loving someone enough to leave them one. And you never did have much for love. Or do you?
I figured you be passed out. Too wired. Gotta fly. Figured you be with Sarge. I was thinking of flying away myself.
Maybe everybody doesn't leave. Maybe just once someone stays. So you put down roots, make a home, find a place.
So, you need somebody to catch you again?
You meet a kindred spirit, build a life, leave your mark. Something that stays. I was here. I mattered to someone.
Absolutely not.
To anyone.
But if I was offered a nightcap, I wouldn't say no.
A sliver of happiness to finally call your own.
Well, beautiful lady, I got you.
Yet you forgot one thing. I made a promise. You don't get your happy ending. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which girl wins her heart, dear Nova? I'll make sure her death is slow. And
Welcome back, my legends, and today I'm just going to explain the final chapter, Legacy Lost, from Twitter, and explain what's going on. So in the first panel, we see that Caustic got rejected to become a simulacrum. Now, the reason why is because Hammond Robotics did some testing on him, and they realized that he lacks empathy, and it's a bit crazy, just a bit, and so they decided, you know what, maybe we don't want another Revenant going around, so that's why he got rejected. So, in the next panel, we see Pathfinder, Evelyn, Rampart, Mirage, and Rave. They're having basically a family poker night at Mirage's bar, where Mirage notices that Rave gets a phone call, which is from Bangalore. Now, Mirage doesn't know what's going on, as we find out later in the panels, and I think he might be a bit jealous. In the next panel, we see Bloodhound and Fuse just having a good time and having laughed. Now, I'm guessing they got close in season 8 where they took down Maggie. So it's really cool seeing Bloodhound be more social and having a laugh with one of the legends instead of being isolated and keeping to themselves. I thought that was a really cool panel they did, and I'm pretty sure now there's going to be a lot of Fuse Bloodhound shipping, but we'll see. In the next panel, we see that Mirage is concerned over Rave, and what happened in season 7 is that Mirage kind of heavily relied too much on Rave, but I guess he finally realized that, hey, wait a minute, I need to deal with my own problems and take care of my own business. So it's nice seeing him grow up, even though he's like a 30-year-old man. So it's just nice to see Mirage and Rave have some banter between each other. So in the next panel, we see Richard Witt begging for his $50 back. Now, Richard Witt went to Olympus because he wanted to sell this invention to some people, and unfortunately he got rejected, and so he's basically trying to run away from facing his son and feeling like a failure as a dad. So there's more to it, but I think I'll say that for Mirage's dad update video lore wise. In the next panel, we see Michael, Nick's son, was saved from the virus that was inside him. Now the big question is, will Michael forgive Givy for basically destroying his family? Because I feel like Michael really believes that it was Gibraltar who basically made it where his dad Nick and his mom are not together because Nick loved Givy. And the next panel is very interesting because we see that Octane and Lifeline are working together, but Revenant says something very interesting that caught my eye. He said, in the end is when you learn who really had your back. Now this is very interesting because Lifeline has always been there for Octane, but Octane has always done like really stupid stuff that puts Lifeline's life in danger and makes things complicated. So maybe this could be hinting that in the future something might happen between these two where they're no longer friends. And so the next panel, Octane's dad got arrested because I guess people just figured out that, hey, wait a minute, the Icarus belongs to Silver Pharmaceuticals, and he got caught having the antidote ready because people are supposed to die within 2 days, so there's no way he could have a cure within 2 days. So Silva's dad got caught red-handed. And so the next panel, we see Horizon and Ash having a talk. Now, as we we know, it's kind of obvious that Ash is Dr. Reed, and this could explain the boxes saying how Horizon has not put the pieces together that Ash is Ashley Reed, her former co-worker. And so the next panel, we see that Rafe and Bangalore, there's still some bit of distrust between them, but they decided to work together. And then Bangalore kind of slips and tells Rafe that she doesn't want to see her die, which Rafe said her, which I'm pretty sure that this whole panel is hinting towards the fact that Bangalore might like Loba. And so in the next panel, we see Caustic basically getting a gift from Crypto and Watson. Now, remember, since they kind of got the cure from Silva Pharmaceuticals, I guess they no longer needed this spider, and they gave it to Caustic to cure his cancer. Although, I don't think it's really curable with the spider. I think he just said that to try to save his mom, but he wanted to seem selfish, like he was trying to do it for himself. That way, people don't connect her to him being Alexander Knox. We'll see. It's kind of confusing. And so in the last panel, we see that Valkyrie and Loba basically become a couple, I think. And so what's going to happen now is that Revenant is trying to find out who's going to win Lova's heart, Valkyrie or Bangalore. Personally, I'm not a big fan how they treated Revenant and him being like an obsessed Lova fan stalker 24/7. I think it would have been better if Revenant won the fight against Lova, and then basically this is his way of getting her back for her throwing away his source code. And so yeah, that's the final chapter, my legends. I'll see you all next time. Peace.